beautiful spot. Bunch of wild pecans out here and then big green fields both ways. It's gonna be a little bit tricky. Chris just shot a buck. Chris is on the board. As I was saying, Chris is about 800 to 1,000 right there. Where that set mag just... Well, this could be good or bad. Shelton said there's a box house somewhere up in here. But it was dark, and all we had was a little bitty cell phone light. And I couldn't find the road to cut in there to it, so we seen this box where we parked the buggy. So we just came back and got in it. Yamaha was right there. So after we walked our woods out, we just walked back to where we were and jumped up here. So this is actually the field that we're gonna hunt later in the hunt. It's one of them spots where it's gonna set up. So the good thing is it's really big and we're on the backside. So the river's just right here to my right, and Cody straight to my left, about 600 yards probably, maybe 7. So it's our first morning, 28 degrees, clear. The front came through yesterday, calm. Deer ought to move this morning. Sometimes when you mess up getting the wrong box, I have done that and it worked out for the better, so maybe it'll work out. I hope. I was so mad about 30 minutes ago, I ain't gonna lie. Sweating, walking around like, where in the world is that box? And I really ain't seen it yet, so we'll see. It's quiet. Bunch of duck hunters shooting ducks, so that's for sure. Joey, right here. It's a buck right here. He's looking at the buggy. He's going across the other side. Joey, can you see him in there? Not yet. It's like a green oak limb hanging down. He's right in there feeding. Dude, it's a big 6. I mean, a heavy, mature 6. Big cool buck. I can see him now. He's starting to make his way this way. I think he's gonna come out in the field. He's gonna cross the field and go to that tree line. He comes out in that field, we're gonna bust him. I can shoot him in the field. See if he comes out in the field. I think he's gonna walk right across here. Come out and open. I'm gonna let him get him in a wide open. I ain't gonna shoot till you get good footage. I'm on him. Are you ready? Yeah. We just killed a stud 6 point. I mean a stud 6, a Keith Burgess special. Big Rudd always likes to shoot them big 6s. He's like, if I can ever shoot a big 6, that's what I like. I looked over to my left, dude. He come right across the road. And I said, Joey, that's a shooter 6 point right there. That's a stud. And dadgum, if he didn't feed, come all the way through the woods, walk out 65 yards, hammer down. Everybody's on the board, baby. I mean, he's there hammering the heads on. I mean, stud right in the road. We just go right over, pick it. Buck down, buck down. Did that not work out right or what? This wasn't even a stand we were supposed to hunt. I couldn't find it in the dark. And I knew this spot, you know, when I used to guide, this old box stand's been here forever. In this spot, and I was like, well, we're gonna just get in that sucker. And Big Six come off Tara. I'm about to call my boy Bobby and tell Bobby, I got you, Big Six. He come out, came across the woods. I told Joe, I said, I'm gonna let him, if he comes in that field and gives us a good, clear shot, I'm gonna dump him. And Joe was like, well, I'm on him. Buck down.
Chris, I interrupted my interview. Shoot. That's awesome. As I was saying, Chris, is about 800 to 1,000 right there. Where that 7 mag just blew. He said it. Chris said when he goes, I gotta get close to the river. That's where I kill him. He said I got to be looking at the water. He was not lying. We just got light. 704, he done fired.
That's a 6 point. There's an 8 point with him. That's like a pretty nice deer. Walking up there. He's coming out this way. There's another deer coming out. Okay, that's a doe. That's what it is. That 8 point's pushing that 6 point away. He's staying between that doe and that 6 point. Coming out, he's behind that big pecan tree there now. He's working a scrape. The doe's coming out in the food plot. He's just hanging back in there. Working the scrapes all bristled up. That 6 point must be out there where we can't see him in them vines. Hanging back there. The doe's going to the lake bank. He's alright. I mean, I don't think he's a shooter. If he comes out where I can get a good look at him, he's staying behind all that brush. I can't see him real good. I can't even see him right now. I know where he's at. He hadn't moved from where he's at. I just can't see him.
Working that way. I think that's the same deer we saw yesterday at the far end of the food plot chasing does. I'm not positive. I may regret it, but I think I'm gonna let him slide. If he just comes into a food plot, we can get a good look at him. I ain't sure we can let him slide. He's a good deer. Too far last night and then up in all that stuff this morning. He is living right there. I mean, right now he's 125 yards from where he came out last night in the other food plot. Sun's getting up. Them deer starting to move around now.
John, look at the thing. You see this big old rack sticking up. I'm talking about a stud stick. I told you, Joey. This big joker, man. Look at the mass on that thing. Look at that heavy thing. Look at the neck on it. I mean, a stud. Stud 6, man. Is that not cool, boy? I'm telling you, the Mississippi River, man, it's just a different kind of deer, man. It's just a cool deer. Big old body on this thing. I love that deer. I seen him come out in the road straight to the left of us. I was like, dude, I believe that's a shooter 6-point. And the more I got to looking at him, sure enough, I mean, a stud. They might have me on points, but I'm right there with them. I'm just telling you. I got them on body size, 100%. And I think I got them on mass. I mean, look at that. That's a cool deer, ain't it, Joey?
Oh yeah.
Hey, that's what I come to Hancock to shoot right there. It just don't get any better than a place on the Mississippi River in the right location with the right management. It's unreal, man. Unreal. Hunt information brought to you by SCI, First for Hunters.